I got my posture
With the
on. You can see
KC
them.
market, I'm with the WNN community. So
Okay, yeah. CJ and Jasmine,
uh,
yeah.
yes, yes. So but I'm always curious what the market here is like because that was my original intent. But it's just really hard to
We're
um
not a cash flow market. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
right.
the thing is you gotta understand the different markets. So if you're going for cash flow, then that's probably the right team to kind of be with is CJ guys. They're in Kansas City, right?
Yes, correct.
Nice. Did you jump in on any of their deals or?
I am trying to.
Mhm.
They have like sometimes they have deals within the community, so trying to see if that's a good fit for my buy box. And yeah, just I've only been in the community maybe a couple months now, or this mentorship, so
Okay.
just trying to learn.
Yeah.
Um, considering I feel kind of shy, and when I hear your story on how you did door knocking, I'm like, I don't know if that's for me. Um,
It's okay because um honestly door knocking is it's not an efficient way to get deals. I think the way they would what but it's still very powerful, I feel, for the development of any investor or entrepreneur because it builds you grow in a different way. Like you learn you have to develop your courage and discipline and the consistency and like I said in the meetup, I spoke at Daniel's meetup. It's like I truly feel that that's the secret to making it. Those who I see, like I always get asked the questions like, what do you see, from invest people who try and don't make it and people who come in and they do. And I said, well, the difference really is like those who come in it and try, they don't make it. You can't try, it's just, and that's like another intangible thing, right? You need the courage to do it, make the decision, go forward. And but as an investor, the beauty with real estate is I feel there's so many different strategies, and each one you can get very wealthy on. There's wealthy people who just wholesale properties. There's wealthy people who flip houses. There's wealthy people who are in syndication. So it really is what fits you, right? And do you have a full-time job, Liz?
yes, it's not a high paying job. That's where it's one of my pain points is to get uncomfortable with being able to have conversations with people and presenting that opportunity to get private lenders.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, very much. I know how you feel. And you know what? Are you on Oahu or where are you located?
Yeah, I live in Pro City.
Oh, okay. You should come to our office. Sit down and I'll talk about how I found raising private money like the best way for me and I feel for the person too. And it's I guess the one thing is that if it feels like you're selling somebody to invest with you, then you're doing it wrong. Like it shouldn't feel that way at all, like zero, right? And it should because and that's I see a lot of people I feel kind of not doing it wrong. It's just I feel there's a more efficient and better and a more harmonious way to do it, and that's to educate. So instead of selling somebody on how much like how good the deal is or how good you are, you focus more on educating them because there's no reason to sell uh somebody on investing with us, right? And why is that? It's because we win on all facets if you look at it, right? Um, we offer well, our team offers 12% annual interest. And that's in the form of a loan, so it's debt. So they have tangible collateral in real estate, right? So um when you Roderick, what's up?
Hello.
How's it going, bro? So when Um, oh man, I lost my trail.
You offer 12% debt
Yeah,
on
we offer
all
so
assets.
we offer 12. Thank you, Layla. That's why I need Layla in my life. Um, offer 12% debt, right? 12% is no one gets 12%. You know, and usually most funds don't outperform the S&P 500. That's a fact. If you look over history. So you might as well just put your money and bet on the S&P 500, right? You would think, and then avoid the management fees and all that. That's what the data historically shows, that most funds do not outperform the S&P 500. In fact, they by far, by far. So, and the ones that do, right? The ones that do offer the double digit returns, even into the 20% sometimes, like or more, those funds are not open to us, you know. It's not open to, like, we cannot just say, hey, I have money and can I invest with you? Right? It's a no-go. One, you have to be accredited probably. And two is like you have to come with a large sum amount of money. Otherwise it's not worth their time. It costs them more to manage that money than it is to really have it, I'm sure. So like for us, like this is a big talk. I guess I'll give this again. You guys probably heard it already, but knowing the difference between Wall Street and Main Street, right, and what street we play on. Main Street represents the average day American, the small business owner, the entrepreneur, us. The majority of uh, you know, Americans are Main Street players, and because we're not market movers, we didn't grow up on Wall Street. Maybe we didn't go to Ivy League school, and we're not in those, spheres. We don't get invited to the idea dinners in the Hamptons. So we have to just acknowledge that, insider trading is illegal, but it happens every day. Go look up Nancy Pelosi and and her trades. And it just says something, right? Like it's the game is rigged. And I still think Wall Street plays a big role. It play a big role in our economy. Like we need Wall Street, right? It we need companies to be able to tap into funds and grow. So there is a place for Wall Street, but we have to understand that that's not our street. We don't have control on that street. There's no tangible collateral there, and your returns are far less because the retail investor, unfortunately, is the last to know. So by the time it hits CNBC Money, all the Wall Street whales, all the market movers, all the guys in the Hamptons talking story, planning and stuff, like they make their moves before it even hits the screen, so we just have to be honest with the reality of it and accept that we're not Wall Street players. So why do most Americans put their money in the hands of money managers who take fees, right? And I've seen negative statements. I've seen money managers who take fees with a negative balance. I could not do that. If my job is to make a return on my investors' capital and I lost their money, then I shouldn't get paid, right? That's how I feel. But that's not how the world works. That's not how it works right now. So what I was, telling to Liz is like, tying it back to raising capital, right? Is we don't have to sell. We just have to educate because we offer much higher returns. As an investor, whatever you're investing in, it comes down to two questions. What's my risk and what's my return? And then you have to ask, is the return worth the risk, right? It's simple, but it's not easy, right? And we if that's the case, if we know that's the fundamentals to making a decision in order to invest, then all we have to do is address those two concerns. What's their return? Well, their return is exponentially higher than the average investment vehicle out there. That's the truth because most people put it in mutual funds, 401ks, IRAs, and they don't have control of the market. Someone's managing it for them. They don't even check their statements, you know. And if it's you guys, check your statements, check your statements. Um, and true story, I even had a guy, I don't want to say the name of the company, but he was, everybody pretty much knows the company. He was in our office. He's a financial advisor, financial planner. And I was telling him, I know you guys have regulations and stuff, but how about I don't need the whole pie. I'm not asking for all your clients, like what about just a small percentage? Like let us show you what we can do, the returns that we can provide, the investment vehicle that we can provide. And he said, "Oh, I know what you guys can do. It's just there's no way they would let me do that." And I asked him why. He says, because they're are afraid the clients may not return. He's like, why do I even need to, go to the broker? Like these guys are right over here. And so, and I told him, well, there's like non-circumvent agreements we can have. I'm not here to take clients and stuff. Like it still should go through them, right? But he said it's a no-go. I said, what a shame. What a shame. Because I bet you most of their clients are getting small returns with no security. Yeah, so understanding what street we play on is important, and all we have to do is educate because we win on both sides. We provide much higher rate of returns backed and secured by tangible collateral, real estate, you know? So that's the power of what we have as Main Street players. And um, I know the only difference, I said this at the meetup too, is like the only difference for me, sometimes I wonder, even me and Leila have conversations sometimes, and me and Alex, and we all have, every now and have to stop ourselves, like, how did we get here? Because just so grateful. Some of the things we've seen, some of the things we've done is just, I never thought, I'm from Waimanalo, small town, small island, small state. Um, and I realized that we need to, the only reason why is because what I learned, the strategies that I learned through real estate, how money works, right? And along the way, learning, sometimes the hard way, all of the intangible lessons, and getting slapped around by the market, getting slapped around by a bad deal, getting slapped around by, um, I don't know, it could be anything, is going to happen, right? So I think with us being Main Street players, it's our duty to have these conversations and raise capital. Instead of seeing it as, oh no, like I'm afraid to ask for money. Why would this person want to give me money? We really have to change our entire conversation and posture to something more exciting, because we should be excited to talk about it, because most average Americans, they're getting like slaughtered and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. 1 year goes by and then the next year goes by, small returns, small returns. Oh, and here's a negative one. You know, Before you know it, like a decade goes by and you're still in the same place and you're paying these guys for it. Like we got to if we're Main Street players and we don't have an advantage on Wall Street, then that means that we have to take our future, our legacy, in our own hands. And the way we did that is learning, right? That's the only difference. Hi, Janine.
How are you?
Hey,
I wasn't sure if this is like
Janine.
open to questions, but I have questions.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being on. Guys, this is Janine. How come you have a different last name?
Is it no, that's my last name.
Her last name.
Yeah.
Janine Nicole's your middle name then.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
Wow. Okay.
It's like my business account. I
Oh,
don't
Janine, I've been having the best time watching your guys' page. So
Thank
Janine is the
you.
CEO and founder of Simple Lending. Everybody go kind of follow her. It's like
Yeah.
it's so awesome to see. Like we're trying to
It's
do the
busy
same
right
thing.
now, but it's been fun to grow for sure. But yeah, everything you guys have been doing is so inspiring. So I love just being in the shadow and being able to look up to you and everything you're doing. I'm curious of how you started, your fund, of like how you knew how to structure it, and how do you know like doing the fund route or syndication
Hmm.
route is best for you? And also like when people don't pay, of how you navigate that.
Like as an you know,
Like
a
if someone
borrower.
does default kind of thing, like what's the navigation around that?
So
I know it's a
fortunately,
lot of missions at once.
yeah, no. Well, let me address the fund. The fund, so we're a 506c Reg D. It was formed by John Hornick, and Leonard Rosen. And really, we formed the fund as a traditional investment fund where we take money in, service investors, and then lend it out, right, at a higher rate and make an arbitrage and our investors get their returns. But we realized that since like guys like Eric, right, from Rock and all of, they're pioneers, they truly are, because they started to create table funding platforms and white label I guess channels for companies like ours, right, where they'll back us at the table and also they basically buy our notes at the table and they some we get internal lines like we work with Rock, all the big guys. I don't think we've only done one with like Jeff Tesh and RCN, but we decided to go that route instead of the traditional fund route because we were new to the space. Like we were flipping houses and doing construction of single family homes, and so I knew private lending as the borrower, right? And so I thought, oh, how hard could it be? Like
Yeah,
I've taken in millions of dollars of hard money before, so I'm pretty sure how the steps go, right? And man, I did not know like there's so much more in the background. So once I realized, oh, this is more than I thought, like it was almost like we had to just focus on origination instead of the servicing as well. Because if we took in private money, then we'd have to service the investors and work the fund on that side. And it's hard enough, as you know, right, to master the origination side. Right. We're still figuring it out, and it's still, not easy. But
for sure.
what a blessing to be in the industry that we are in these times, right? Like feel like we're at the bottom, about to take the ride up.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what's been your experience? This is just a talk story, by the way, so people
Okay,
can
yeah, all good.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's my experience was I worked at two other banks, and then when I moved to Houston and I was still working for my New York bank, I, then created the idea of like kind of going off on my own and trusting my book of business, fighting some limiting beliefs with that. But it's just been nice to be on my own journey per se, and like
Yeah.
to just kind of build it and see kind of where it goes. And it kind of keeps outdoing my vision. I just moved into this office space and now I'm looking at bigger office space. So I'm kind of just riding the wave, but I am at the point of like wanting to either go the fund route. And I've spoken to John Hornick about opening the fund, but I've also was curious of like, doing the loan syndication and trying it on like one or two deals. But I
Yeah.
am true just like white label with all the big guys like Rock and
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, just navigating that.
I'd say like honestly, we haven't touched our fund at all. In the
Wow.
5 years that we've been doing this, like we never used it. We never had. Well, one is there's another sticking point too, is because I was talking about 12% returns, right?
Yeah.
So when like our private investors when we were flipping houses, they were investing in real estate as private investors, right? So they were the lenders to us. And so we paid them 12%. our fund offers 8%. And I just didn't have the heart to ask my investors who have been with me for years to go down 4 points. So
Yeah.
in a new venture, right? So that was the hard part. We actually didn't bring my investors inside the fund, but they still invest with us as debt. Yeah. So one thing that a benefit that would be, which we may start using it is that, if you raise if you raise the capital and you bring in investors into the fund, then now you have a balance sheet, and you're sellable, so that's the only thing is if you're just pure white label, unless you have, I feel, proprietary like IP in your process and technology or software that gives you that edge, then it's hard to have it be something that I think you could sell one day, I think, or take it to the public. I'm not sure. I mean,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was always trying to navigate too, of like, how Rock Capital did acquire Finance of America and Civic. And I'm kind of just curious of that, of like what I
Yeah,
need to do to
me
get to
too.
that point. So I'm always just like, okay, I need to model what they did. Like,
Yeah.
that seems like the perfect world, right? So
I want to know the number that it was purchased
yeah,
for.
I'm curious too. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be besties with Eric to get all the
Yeah, we gotta get
details and
bestie.
the
We gotta get the
EBITDA
bestie circle.
illustrated at. So
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, Rock Capital is based out of New York, and they purchased Finance of America, which is actually was a Blackstone subsidiary, and they also purchased Civic Financial. I think they did one more too. Eric was on like a rampage.
I know.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on, man? And him and Lima One, they made a lot of big moves too. So this is the lending side, guys. And if you guys have any questions for Jenny, thank you so much for jumping on.
Yeah, of course. I had to see what this was all about. Love it.
Yeah, come hang
Good.
out with us every Friday. Bring the team.
I
Talk
need to come to
story.
Hawaii. That's what I need to do.
Well, if you ever come, if you ever need to escape, then you have a home here. So
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, you're in Miami, right?
No, I'm in Houston, Texas, but I'm from New York.
Oh, I
So
thought you were in Miami for some
no, yeah.
reason.
I moved to Houston in 2020.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, are you gonna be at the Atlantic City one or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's grab lunch or something. That'll be great. We can sit down and maybe with
Yeah,
the
I would love
team.
that
Yeah.
for sure.
Because yeah, I really admire like what you guys are doing because like, wow, okay, that's what we're doing. I want us to show the team and what the journey, right?
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's great. Yeah, I know you guys are opening another office, which is exciting. So congrats
Yep.
on that.
Yeah, it was exciting at first, and now it's the grind. Now it's like permits and get the contractors and
Oh yeah,
LA.
for sure.
Yeah. But Liz, did I answer your question? So really it's about educating. Instead of when you raise money, I feel you gotta educate. Um, Focus on educating more because we don't have to sell as investors, and if they're investing on a project in single family, then we win on all sides. And that's what we do with our our company, and we know what street we play on, Main Street, right? So we take Wall Street resources and invest it on Main Street. Wall Street gets their return, we get our return. The our borrowers get their returns, the assets, right? And it all goes back up to Wall Street. So, but that's how I feel we should play. Where we have more control, where the game is fair, and our portfolios and legacies and retirement is in our own hands, right? It's our failures and successes are of our own. That's how I like it anyways. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, Corey, I just had a quick question for you. So we've been members of Tardis for a while, and
Mhm.
one of the Tardis coaches was mentioning that some of the Tardis clients actually invest with you guys, and you've
Mm.
put some of their money to work. Are you looking for more private capital from, you know,
Uh,
guys
I'm
like
not actively searching, but yeah, I mean, we can take on more. I mean, we're always looking like for new investors because like if we can't place it, then I'm in like Layla, me, Layla, and Alex just jumped in on six more houses right when we said that like, all right, let's take a break, but no, like this time though we're with, we have trusted partners and highly experienced, and now we're just the silent partners, but we fund it, right? With private capital too. So yeah, absolutely.
Got it. So, okay, so if we wrangled together 100 grand and gave it to you guys, what does it pay or how does it work? How long is it tied up for? Like, what's it
So
backed by?
typically it's a 12-month note. Um, and the return is 12% paid. We can pay monthly as well.
Gotcha. So 12% annualized,
Yep.
paid monthly,
Yep.
little interest payments, and then at the end of the 12 months, you get the original capital back
Yeah, balloon payment. Yep.
along with any last little things. Okay. And do you want me to ask around for more people, or do you not really need money right now, or what?
Don't you need money? Do you need money for anything?
Oh, I'm looking for a deal, so I'm
Oh, you're looking for a deal. Gotcha.
yeah. Once I have one,
Well,
I won't be asking this question. But right now, I have a self-directed IRA that's exactly like you're talking about.
oh
It's with
yeah.
a fund manager. He's taking his 2%, then he's giving me
Right.
some sob story about how he didn't make any money. And I'm like, oh, dude, if
Yeah.
I didn't make money, you shouldn't be making any money. This is nonsense.
Amen, brother. Yes. That's how I feel.
I'm fine with you getting paid, but I better be making at least close to what you told me I was going to make. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah. That's his job. But like, look, I don't. I think most of those guys, they're not doing it maliciously.
Of course
Like
not.
that they grew up in that side of finance, and but if you pan out at the 30,000 foot view, it's like, no,
Mhm.
man, that's there's better ways, and so Wall Street sells to Main Street all day long. That's the thing, right? And most people put their, retirement in the hands of someone else. So, but yeah, we can, even if you guys have like a lender or investor that is possibly important to you. I've had people bring their family members in to our office and sit down. I'll sit down with all of them, and I do my thing. I educate, and I'm just
Okay.
telling what I learned. Like I'm
Awesome.
just telling the truth. Like I'm seeing it as it is. Like, wow, this is unfair. No wonder people don't get ahead because they don't understand money. They don't understand good debt versus bad debt, an asset versus a liability.
Yep.
Like, and they don't understand what, like, you got to know what street you play on. you know,
Yep.
and so I that's part of my purpose too. So I can help educate, and close your investors for you. I'm not gonna get nothing out of it. I don't need anything. It's just if it helps you get to, be able to see how, like, you just have to educate, and then if it helps give trust, if it helps give that person the extra, to say, yes, I'm gonna go forward. The only thing is we gotta do it right, guys. So we can't mess it up. That's the thing, is the reason why most people do have to put their money in the market is there's not enough of us. There's not enough of good, solid capital allocators. We call ourselves real estate investors, but I've always felt weird about that because it's not my money. You know, I'm placing other people's money, and yes, through that I do gain, profits and cash and right, like, but I like if most people understood it, if most people understood, that you don't need money, to do this. Actually, I was broke. I was a broke college kid. In fact, like I was deciding whether or not I should stay in California and continue real estate even after I got my degree, or move back home. And I wanted to move home because I was homesick. I'm a true local boy. So I was homesick, and but one of the bigger like reasons to make me go home is because I kind of had to. Like I literally had not another payment of rent I could have afforded, so it's almost like I had to, even though I would have figured it out. If I really wanted to stay, like I would have figured it out. Um, but what I did move home, like I had no money, so I worked a part-time job at the Y at the Central YMCA for like a couple years while I was like marketing and trying to wholesale. And I loved the people I worked with at the Y. Like, to this day, I still keep in touch with some of them. But every day, man, going in there was just a huge reminder. Like it was motivation for me because I'm, cleaning sweat off the machines, and the Y is different. It's not like 24s where it's a little wild. It's like they really want you to make sure that's a family environment, so people aren't slamming weights, or so always got to be the guy to graciously kind of like, hey, can you turn it down a little bit? I just hated that, and I just was a reminder every time that I don't want to, I was meant to do something different. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, Anybody have anything else? Roderick, how's yours in Florida? And then you had the refi on your property, right? That's all
Correct.
taken care of?
Yeah, we closed out Templeview, guys, and got them all paid back. We did have to pay one extension fee of 10 grand. That kind of sucked, but it's okay. We made it through, and
Yeah.
we got the house. I'm sitting in it right now. I'm really grateful. There's at least 500,000 of equity sitting here, so we're cool.
That was a great buy.
Catch our breath,
Yeah.
But the thing, yeah, that's what I'm really closely looking at, is how to get out of these like fund managers, because I just don't like, they're cool and they try to say the right things and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's exactly like you said, it's risk and reward. And I'm noticing real quick, they can promise these 10%, 8%, 12% returns, but then at the end of the day, when it doesn't come, like, you have no recourse, and you're just lucky to get your original capital back from them. And they don't ever want to give it back. God forbid you call them up and you're like, dude, I need you to cut me a check. They do everything they can to talk you out of that check.
Yep.
So my question for you is, okay, if I can get you 100 grand this coming month, do I hold like a second position lien against a project, or is it just a promissory note, or like, how does it work? If
It depends.
Like,
it depends
whoever
if
you loan the money to fails.
Right. Yeah. It depends. We have two options. Like if you want to go on a project, we can go on a project. If you want to talk about going in with us on the fund or our company, Keiko Capital, then we can talk about that too. Like each one has different like the fund, right? Because like the fund doesn't have collateral in one asset, right? Because it's kind of, its risk is kind of spread. So we give a promissory note with a full recourse personal guarantee. So that kind of covers, if anything, now that I understand, I might want a full recourse as my security rather than um a second position non-recourse note. It depends, right? It depends on the deal. Sometimes if it's a really good deal, then you might be safer with a second lien on tangible collateral. Although thank God I've never been on this road, but from what I've heard just by asking, and it wasn't from my attorney, is that um well, what did he tell me? Sorry, I'm trying
You
to
still have to go through
reach
the
back in.
courts and get the foreclosure and deal with all that nonsense. Like,
Exactly. That's what,
dude.
yeah.
That's a big pain in the ass.
He didn't tell me that,
Right.
but another investor of a friend of mine told me, and it makes sense, right? So I need to confirm that too, because like, yeah, if so, then I want to be a little bit more intentional about reminding people, because People get set on the tangible collateral, which is great too, but there's different forms, there's different ways that you can mitigate risk and still make a like a good solid decision with security of your funds. And yeah, like whether it be a full recourse, because yeah, from what I heard is like many times it's easier to execute upon a full recourse clause than a foreclosure, especially if you're in second and especially if you're in a judicial state, right? It just takes longer, usually. So, yeah. So we can talk after, Roger.
Yeah, I'd love to see what the fund looks like. That's great. When do you recruit people to invest in these funds? I've never seen one of those emails before.
Well, I don't typically. Yeah.
Okay, you
So
have all
it's all like personal relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, and referrals too. I'm not really we're not really too far out there. And even though we can market for funds now that we are 506c Reg D, since we're not bringing our investors into the fund, then you can't advertise, right? Typically. Um, and there's regulation. I've never seen anyone get busted, honestly, but like that's our space, so I gotta behave. Yeah, like I gotta be squeaky clean. So
Totally. Long
yeah,
term.
but typically you're not supposed to be advertising like to a public venue like on pay-per-click and stuff like, or sometimes even your own social media. You would, if you're like a public, I think, profile, like you're not supposed to be telling your returns that you offer, I guess. So, but
Gotcha.
SEC is not really looking for guys like us, but I mean, they're probably looking for watching guys like me, but because we we're filed, but I've never seen anyone get in trouble, but it's something that you ought to be cautious. And plus, I want to know my investors. I really want to make sure that they're okay. Like they trust me. Like just yesterday, I almost turned down money because I could just feel she was concerned. It's her first time investing, and like
Sure.
I just know from your experience, and you guys might have experienced this too. Is like when you take all money is not good money. Yeah, like that's a lesson I learned. And sometimes you'll take money from somebody who maybe is just, I mean, part of my French, an asshole. Like
Yeah.
that's why we have a no asshole policy, because
I
usually it's
love
the
that
assholes
policy.
who like are first to point the finger.
Totally.
Like they don't take ownership.
Yeah.
Like they're
Stuff goes wrong.
liabilities. Exactly. And
Yeah.
plus, like we didn't take all this risk, like Rod, like you didn't take all this risk and put all this time and energy, into pursuing this like venture of investing in real estate to work with assholes, right?
Nope.
Like, no way. I put
Nope.
way too much on the line for
Yeah,
that.
totally. All right, hey Corey, I got to run to an appointment at 11, but can I
Love
call
you,
you?
brother.
I'm going to shoot you a text.
Please. Yeah,
I would love to hear about the fund and this and that. And you guys are awesome, and
of
I
course.
appreciate you all so much.
Thank you, Roderick.
Big
Take care,
love.
brother. Have a good weekend. I love Roderick. He's such a good energy. I was so happy to see him. I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Layla, having my back. Oh, that was nice that Janine was able to stop by. Has she been so she's been coming on then, just
Yeah, she
yeah,
popped in.
she does, huh?
So
That's cool.
she's kind of in the same, growing her business the same way we're growing ours. So
Oh,
she's reached out to have me talk to her.
oh, really?
Yeah, the girl with the tattoos, I forget her name.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. No,
but we
Alex
had that.
did say she wanted to sit down, so we should probably sit down with her in Atlantic City.
Yeah, we gotta make an appointment with them because
Is
we
it?
all
Okay.
get busy when we're at
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, no, it gets crazy.
Anyone have any other leads, deeds, good needs? Leads, needs, good deeds.
Roderick's got money, guys. We
Sorry,
got
I
a
just wanted
deal.
to. Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
no, I just wanted to thank you for your words earlier. That was very helpful. To go
Yeah.
back real quick on your take on educating. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it makes the conversation so much easier. And in fact, like that's why I do offer like if somebody has sometimes talking to a family member is it's just it's hard, because you can't even educate them sometimes because you might be the little niece or the little nephew and you'll always be that to them, right? So if you guys have someone that you just maybe you feel you're not ready yet, or you'd like to hear it too, just come by our office, like get a hold of us, set an appointment, and we'll sit down. Like I truly like I'm passionate about it, um and I found purpose in it. So in educating, and I feel it's my duty too, um to share what I learned. And so that door is open. Our doors are open, guys. Like I'll be on this Friday call if it's just me and Layla, and Sheena. We'll do work. We don't care. So, but yeah, Liz, if you can reach out, if you wanna, I'll drop my contact in the chat if you don't have it. But yeah, please reach out. Let's schedule something and we can dive a little bit deeper into it. And that goes out to everyone on the call here too. We only have like few people. So if you're on Oahu and want to meet up, come by. That's part of the reason why we got our office. Layla and I had a moment because Layla, you want to talk about it? You want to talk about it? Just
Which moment? We have a
so.
lot of moments.
Oh, that sounded
I,
weird. Yeah, stop.
in 2019, it was just Corey and I working out of this, how many square feet? 2,000 square foot office, 1,600, something like that.
Yeah.
Hadn't closed a loan yet.
Yeah, we
On the
signed the lease before we got so long. And we
um,
bootstrapped this company, so there wasn't money injection inside.
and
Aloha, Bryson.
went from that of just, the two of us working out of here to a full office. Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. To having a full office and just hearing the buzz of our origination team. And it was so crazy just to know that in the last, I'm going to say 4 years, we've managed to not only close out some of these projects that we have on Oahu, but also build such a team of great people that we know we're making a difference in their lives. Some of them have gone from making less than, minimum wage to having a family, owning a house, buying multiple cars for their family. And it's all because of the work that was put in behind the scenes. And when you're in the grind of it, you don't really realize. It's just time ticks away and keep your head down and you're in the grind. And then you look up and one day and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
We just looked at each other. We were like, whoa.
Yeah, we are like, you hear that? And it's just like, guys talking over each other, like asking each other questions. And it's like, wow, not even like maybe not even a year ago. It was just like me and Layla, Alex was on the team too, but he was somewhere in the world.
I think.
Yeah, he was on the road. We sent him on the road for like a year and a half, taking all the meetings and stuff. So, but
And
yeah,
then
Layla and I is
putting
just
together so many things now. One of the projects we're working on, it's a standard operating procedure for this company, and it's 112 pages. It's like wild.
and you
Just
know what? Layla and I didn't put anything into that. Yeah. I mean, we gave our suggestions and stuff, but like, the guys they took it into their own hands. It's like we need a process, guys. We need it solid, like, and we need it quick, because we're investing in technology too. And in order for this technology to be very powerful for us, we have to know our process inside and out, and so we have to, and our position, I don't know if you guys know how we work, but our position is hard because we're not direct lenders, right? We're like correspondent. They call us white label in the private lending space. And So we're in charge of the deal flow to the private lending industry, you know, and some of these big companies like Rock and Lima, they do both, right? They're capital providers and they're originators. But they honestly, you know, the bigger part of their business is the providing the capital to people like us, like companies like us, smaller companies, but we're more boots on the ground. You know, we got the energy to go out there and hunt down, you know, good borrowers and serve them and bring them under the umbrella, right? So that's how we work. I don't even know why I'm going down that road. I keep losing my
I
thought.
already know where we're going. So it's the responsibility of our team to know the boxes, credit boxes of every capital provider, and every capital provider is different, right? Somebody who offers the best program for DSCR might not have the strongest product for ground up and might not have the strongest product for multifamily. So it's up to these guys to learn all their credit boxes, all their underwriting guidelines, and then work directly with the client.
Yep.
Take it away.
No, that's so it's so what we're trying to say is that the reason why it's taken us 5 years and we still don't have like an ironed out solid process is because I started to realize the position we're in, like we have a great opportunity. Private lending is amazing. It's high ticket sales on repeat, residual at scale because the nation is our playground. You know, we can lend nationwide. But like the position we're in, not only do we have to master our process and what we put as guidelines for our company, but we have to master multiple. And the thing is, it changes all the time. So
Get
it's a
daily
beast
updated rates from every capital provider on the
and
daily.
changes in guidelines, cuts in leverages here, raises in leverages there. So it's what we like, that's the price we pay to get the wholesale rates, you know, to be qualified to get that. And we do have to maintain liquidity, yeah, especially when you're applying for these lines. Um,
Check
which
your
is why
financial.
investment capital is still important to us. Um, but yeah,
We have to,
that's the reason. What
in
was
case
that?
I was just gonna say we have to maintain a certain balance to in case there's a run on the market and we have to
Yeah. We could have
send
a
a
run on the bank too, you know?
back, or buy these notes
Yeah.
that we've originated for these capital providers.
Actually, that's what I forgot to tell Janine is that we realized going through COVID that, maybe we don't want to hold all the money, you know, because all the guys who had all the money, they got squeezed so hard. Civic Financial guys, you guys remember Civic?
They're still around.
Like, yeah, they're still there, right? They got bought though. So, and they're pulling the same thing, the same crew I heard. That's what I heard. They're out there doing the same thing now.
They
So,
folded. Deer Street was one of the big ones that folded because they were making risky loans. I don't know if you guys have heard of Pier Street, but they don't exist.
well, I'm guessing it's hard to that's why we acknowledge our position that we have no business right now managing money in this industry because we need to learn it first, right? And it's a good thing, right? Because it's hard enough to figure out the origination side with the processes and the moving boxes, right? So it's a great opportunity, you know, for us and the guys. It can change your life, you know, like, and it has. We've changed lives here. Not only have we changed lives, we're saving lives here. And I can't wait to till they win because I want to tell their stories, you know. I think you guys would be inspired. I'm inspired every day watching them just struggle. Yeah. What a journey. What a fucking journey.
And it's still going because Corey and Alex love new partnerships. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't even got off the launch pad yet. You know, like some of the calls we're on, I'm like, I hope they don't call on me, you know, because like I haven't built the confidence yet for this call, you know. And I even told Ranson one time recently, oh, that was yesterday. Yeah, I asked, I was like, Rance, And Ramson's my mentor, friend, you know, in Vegas. And he's just been putting us in touch with all the people we need to be in touch with to be protected out there. And you know, I just had to tell him, Rance, like I trust that you're not gonna stick me in a room that I haven't earned to be it, to earn my right to be in, right? And he said, yes. So I was like, okay. So I'm, you know, like I'm still being tested. My character is always tested. My intangibles are always being put to the test, you know, and that's why that is another lesson I gave at Daniel's meetup is like if you're comfortable, I feel like if you're chasing greatness and you're chasing the legacy and you're chasing purpose, then you shouldn't be comfortable, you know, and if it's your time to slow down and let others lead and take charge and you want to go relax, then go relax, you know. But if you're out there conquering and pursuing greatness, then one, I'm your brother, you know. And two, it's like you gotta it takes everything. It takes everything. So it depends. And like Liz said, it's like if you want to be a passive investor, that's fine. Go find a high paying gig, you know, save up and build the monopoly way. That's tried and true. That's the tried and true way. That's the sure way, you know. Flipping houses, building the piggy bank. Yeah, that's a faster way, but you could go bankrupt. It happens, you know. You can lose multi six figures on one deal, you know. So you really have to acknowledge like your position. What do you want? What do you want to do? You know, do you want the risk? Do you want, because if you want that level, you know, to make a big impact, like it's gonna come with pain and sacrifice and hard shit to do. That's just a fact, you know. So but there's nothing wrong for doing your duty and building for yourself and your family. You know, there's nothing wrong with that either. So, oh, couple rants, yeah, Layla.
I'm used to it.
I know, I know.
There's some nuggets in there though, for sure.
Thank you for keeping my brain on track.
Okay.
Well, I hope you guys had a great week. Happy Aloha Friday. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys next week. Reach out if you guys ever want to meet up or anything, okay?
Wait, one plug. We are
Okay, go ahead.
sponsoring JoJo's meetup, the
Oh, we
Invest,
are?
right? You told me to. I did.
Oh, no, I didn't talk to her yet. Like, we should probably talk to her. We plan to
Yeah, to sponsor the Invest Kind Expo. Please put in your calendar, June 28th, and we will be there as well.
Oh, we better call her like right now. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. We see you guys next week. Hello, everyone. Don't be strangers. No shame.